Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pern Survival 1.18. We are here down here with the bees and the sunlight bright in our face where you can't see our eyeballs. Boy, that is really bright with the Optifine. We haven't fixed our eyes yet. Anyways, the reason we're here is we are going to build the Beekeepers cottage and shop. So this is going to be a little bit different than what we've been doing up in the city. Oh, and if you notice, look at the city here. Progress, progress, progress. Um, we don't got the towers all the way around, but we have set up the base of the towers. We have completed a lot of the base of the wall all the way around. Um, Looking good. I'm extremely excited about where all of this is going. Anyways, that's neither near nor there or everywhere. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to build the Beekeeper's cottage and shop. Now we're going to do this a little bit differently because we don't want to make it exact same style of the buildings up there. This is outside of the main city. It still needs to be nice because this guy sells lots of honey. So I'm thinking that he's pretty well off. He does quite well with selling beeswax and honey, because obviously he would be the primary candle maker. And so we'll have the candle shop and all of that here along with the honey shop. So we'll want some shop buildings, some outdoor sheds. We'll want the beehive farm area. We'll have to figure out how to disguise all of this so that you don't see all the dispensers and automated stuff and all of that. And we'll have a couple hives that are just kind of like randomly stacked and stuff and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and build the fun stuff. So what does that mean? That means, first of all, we're not using the really nice, I don't know, oh yeah, cobbled deep slate. We're just going to use regular deep slate for the flooring of the inside, so a little bit different. I don't know, this might be nicer than cobbled deep slate. Sorry, bees, we're going to deflower this, but don't worry, we're going to plant a bunch more later. So, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. The flowers will come back. All right, cool. Um, Now, it's not going to be a huge house area and not a huge shop, but we will need to, of course, create, some outdoor buildings, work areas, things like that, that we're going to use. Let's fill in this. I don't think this hole needs to be here, really, unless we're going to put some water source, but we got ponds on the other side, so let's just use up some of this dirt. There we go. Okay, cool. And we'll do the same back here. For now, we're gonna have to get some go collect some coarse dirt and stuff to put in places where we don't need, all the extra stuff. All right, so I'm not sure if this is gonna be the size of the building. Let's plan out our building. No, so we're gonna use something different. We're gonna use dark oak. Yes, wow, dark oak. And we're also going to use our dripstone blocks. We've been collecting a lot of it, but I thought that this might look really nice. So for example, if we go like this, let's just experiment for a second, if you don't mind. Obviously, we'll do the inside. All right, so yeah, we want to go one more, right? So it is going to be similar style of building. I think that's important. No, that's too high. That's too high. I think we want one lower. That is the one thing I'm struggling with, is that the design looks really good overall, this style, but I don't want it to be too high, where, see, 3 high is good. That represents, too high represents poor, you don't have space, you know, so your ceiling is right above you. 3 high, a little bit well off. 5 high is upper class type stuff, right? Um, so I think this would look good. And see, then we use the same style, and this time, of course, we got the dark oak fences and stuff. We prepped ahead of time because we knew what we would need. And then, of course, we have our windows. Now, doesn't that look good? Right? That actually looks really good. Whoops. So we'll do that. And we'll still use, I think we're still going to do this. Unfortunately, all the other trapdoor styles don't really lend themselves a whole lot to this. Whoops. But we do want to cap the end of these with something, so we'll figure it out. I mean, we could use the same thing, obviously, and just do that. We might, because of what I'm going to do next. You're going to see. All right, so here's our door. So this is why I didn't, you know, build a foundation out really, really far. Because I figured we don't need a huge building here, right? We just want a smaller one. So that would be like that. This, of course, we can't reach it. Still going to go across like that. Fence, 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 fence. We might change those 2 fences. I'm not sure. And then I did bring some doors. And then we probably want to put a couple, you know, a nicer platform. And of course, we'll use our tuft and stuff that we built to build a path to the building. Might as well. I didn't bring all of this stuff, but whoops, too much. That's what happens when you have a high efficiency level on your shovel. You know, you dig everything else up you don't want. I think we have some tuft, yes. And we have a couple andesites as well, and we even have gravel. Okay, how about that? We have cobble as well. We have everything we need to make the path. Cool. So a couple cobbles, some andesite, and some gravel. There we go. Cool. And we, you know, that's why I want some coarse dirt, and we'll use some of our rooted dirt to kind of make, you know, so it's not all just grassy area, but we'll do that later. All right. But I mean, doesn't that look good? Right? That looks really good. I even like, oops, this, and I'll show you why. Because if we, let's get our blocks back that we're building with. It's already sunset. Wow, time flies so fast. So we'll do a fireplace over here. So we're gonna do the fireplace right in the middle. We may take this back one more. Potentially. We'll see. But here's the second floor. So this is what I'm thinking for the second floor. What if we use, and I brought some, there it is. I brought some jungle wood. Now here's the reason. If we go like this, so do that. You go, wait a minute, dark oak and jungle wood? That's not gonna match up, right? Not at all. Just need to do this temporarily. All right, then let's come down, dig that out. So if we strip it, and we could replace this with a stripped log instead, but we'll check that out in a minute. And then we go like this. And we still put this across like that. To go down. And temporarily, let's just build up so we can reach stuff. Let's get these. We're still going to use our dark oak. Like that. And here's a window. This is why I'm kind of thinking that. Put those in. I'm even... Maybe we will trade it up. I'm not sure about the end caps, but let's take a look at this. We also need... Do we still have the chests down here? Well, we have lots of chests, but they're just filled with honey. Oh my goodness, so much honey. All right, we may need those in a moment, but I need a crafting table. There it is. No, I'm not sure if we want dark oak or if I want... Where is it? Did I? I'm out of space. Oh no. There's seeds. Oh yeah, here it is. So if I do this, yeah, that enhances it a little bit. And then what can we do for the end cap? See, I mean, that looks good. I know it's nighttime. We'll have to wait till day. We might go sleep in a moment. But I mean, I like that. You know, you've got the dripstone block with the jungle block up above. It still makes a really nice design, a well-looking building. Not as fancy maybe as the ones up there, because we're going to do a wood roof on this one. It's not going to be copper. Again, you know, decently well-off merchant, but, you know, not extremely rich. I don't know, maybe candle makers are rich. But this is more of the shop, you know. I just want some space. Let's just put some... We don't need the gravel and stuff. Let's just put that stuff away for now. Cool. I'm trying to think of what can we do for the end caps. To make it look good. By the way, the reason there's no mob spawning is we went ahead and we finished claiming the entire town. If you go halfway across the river that's all the way around, you'll get a message that you're leaving, and then you come across the bridge or come into town, you get a message that you're welcome. It's all claimed, and we turned off mob spawning for now, except for friendly mobs. So later, of course, once we build up farms, we can select chunks to turn on specific mobs only, because that's the advantage. Like if we only want skeletons or only want spiders or only, you know, for farms. I believe I found a spawner somewhere down below where we could do that. Really cool plugin. And we can add people so that they can come in and we can control everything. In fact, just really quick, I know I'm getting sidetracked. Like, so if I just put in land manage, I can manage the single chunk I am standing in right now. And if I do land manage all, I can manage all the chunks. So, you know, I can allow access to chests or allow different things. Even PvP, we can do PvP. Add friends, of course, greeting messages, and then, like, I can turn off mob spawning. So, like, cave spiders cannot spawn, but all these others can, you know, and piglins can't spawn. Not that they would spawn anyways, but, you know. So, really cool plugin. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry about that. I love the design. We just have to figure out an end cap for our logs. This might be too fancy. Let's see what it would look like. Because we did use the oak ones up above in the city. So if we do this... It actually looks okay. I'm not sure. We'll experiment with that a little bit. We could just put a button there again or something like that. We'll experiment. All right, well, anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this build, um, figure out what we want to do. I got to decide the fireplace here. How big do we want? Do we want a single fireplace? Do we want a double? You know, things like that. I think I'm going to make it out of the regular old. I'm not sure. We'll either use cobble or something, which I put in the chest. Come back here, cobble! Which one did I put you in? There you are. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to finish building this out so that we can decide how we want this. And then we'll go from there. In fact, I might not use cobble. I might use the cobbled deep slate instead for the fireplace. I think that's going to go better. Alright, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we will be right back. Why, hello there. Looky what we have behind us. We have completed our bee farm honey candle maker. I don't know what you call it. All that good stuff. So we put a real simple lamp design here out on the road. As you can see, we've got our house, which looks extremely awesome, and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to tour it. We're going to come over here. So we did put the lamps up at least to there. We put a little garden in right here with a path on the back side. No lights or anything because this is the back side of the house. Nice and dark. We've got the flowers growing. We've got wheat across the way. We need to get rid of that torch eventually. So I'm trying to get rid of torches and stuff and make it realistic. There's a spider. And then if we go inside the house, we named it the candle. Okay, I figured that was nice. I don't really like the way the signs kind of float. I might change that, figure out how to better place them, but we'll figure it out. So you come in and, we've got some candles. We made some of them. We made some pots out of our clay. We've got a little kitchen right here with the fireplace, water, chest storage, furnace, to use. We've got our kind of like living area. So he's got one piece of armor in case he gets called, to arms. A couple little chairs. This one's fancier with the back. This one looks, simpler. A little table here. And of course the fireplace. And we did do one cheat. And I'll probably make this available as a reward from the voting. I think people would really appreciate that on the server. What we did is, we gave ourselves an invisible item frame. So I can add that to voting, and I think things like that are kind of neat as a reward. They're built into the game, but they're not natural. But you could give them as a reward, and so we've got a couple swords hanging over the fireplace here. Might change one for an axe, but I think that looks nice. If we go upstairs, we've got kind of like this is the master, Mr. and Mrs. of the home, Mr. and Mrs. Candle. I think that's appropriate. So this is their room. They've got a little carpet. This is kind of like their private area, right? Storage, a little separate table, a chair by the fireplace here, candle on the stand. On the other side, we've kind of got like a little just open room here. I'll probably add a table later, something right here where people can sit. Because, Mr. and Mrs. Candle, of course, they can have children. So this is like the children's room, would share a bed, typical. Got their little candles for the night. But then they also might have some workers, or guests. And so upstairs, we've got a little separate room here, and we've got, storage everywhere. We went ahead and we decorated this out. We've got candles here that can be lit at night. And then we've got another little room over here that's a little bit larger. So, this is the Candle family. Maybe they've got grandma and grandpa, in that room because it's a little bit bigger, a cousin or an uncle up here, because that's what would happen in medieval ages. You would have, your whole family living in one roof, as well as, visitors, travelers, or others. Commonly, there weren't a lot of inns. If you look back in history, what we consider as inns or hotels or things like that. Um, so you would, if you were traveling along the road, you come across here and say, it's night, it's rainy or whatever. Hey, can I shelter for the night? You might go out, stay in the stable, or you might stay, in a spare room or on the floor inside the house or something like that. Anyways, continuing with our tours. If we go out the back door of the kitchen, we got really creative back here. So we got a little garden. We've got some carrots and stuff. Another beehive just sitting here with roses. Obviously, Mrs. Candle really likes roses, but they are beekeepers. Flowers make sense, right? Um, we have an outhouse. Now it's got dirt in the back and nothing on the floor. We'll figure something out, but I just used double trap doors to make a thick wall and put a door and a little roof on it, and you've got an outhouse, right? Okay, can do my business, da 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 da. So I forgot I had dirt back here, so we'll fix that. Um, and then I also put in a well with a bucket. And notice that water is coming out of the spring here and coming into the well. The reason I did that is, remember, under the city there's going to be a great big cistern. There is no problem with Mr. and Mrs. Candle spending some of their hard-earned money from the sale of beeswax, honey, and candles, and creating the expense to have workers dig a tunnel up to the cistern so that water naturally flows down into their well, right? Makes sense. So in the side of the house, we've got more flower farms and we've got some random beehives. Now notice these beehives do not have any automation. We took down the hoppers, we took all of that off. So these are just kind of sitting here out in the open for aesthetics, right? Um, and we've got some path. We notice we put in path with the coarse dirt and rooted dirt that we had collected when we were on the other side of Spawn in the Taiga forest. Um, and then we've got a workshop. And look at here, we've got a spare hive. We're extracting honey out of the hive. We did again use a couple invisible item frames here. We've got supplies. Here's one of these. Here's all the honey we've made so far before I took the farm down. I mean, wow. And we used some of that to make candles and stuff. And then we made a bunch of glass bottles. We use some of our waxed copper to put in here as a little table, and we're working on making candles here. There's a bottle of honey sitting here, again, invisible item frames here and there, and we've got like a table here that's covered in wax, and we're making candles here. Really creative and fun. I really enjoyed this build, as you can tell. And then if we come back, we've got this with these here. Now this is our automated farm, so you can see that we've got our dispensers there, and if we come up in the path, there is a little, kind of can't get back here right now, but we did set this up to where there's an observer here. It reads this, and then there's an observer there with, you can't see it, repeaters, and it circles back in so that we have a continuous that all of these can collect honey or honeycomb. And then we ran a hopper line to right here underneath our table, where, well, we don't have anything yet, although this one looks to be nearly full. So we'll check. We haven't tested it if it actually works, and we bred up tons of bees to try to get the bees, because originally we only had these hives, but we flowered our bees for a number of days in a row, to add them in and give them. And we'll have to check, make sure. It looks like they're getting in and out fine, but we'll have to test that. And then, of course, we have this natural pond here, so we went ahead and we filled it up. We even got sea pickles. There is an ocean right there. It's just really close, nearby, just right over there, down this river. Actually, you can get to it. Um, and so there was some coral there, and we grabbed some sea pickles and stuff. And then, of course, the side of the house. Oops, looks like I misplaced a sign. That should be under the window. All right, we'll have to get up there and fix that. But the only thing I am missing that I realize now is a stable for the horse. You know, it doesn't make sense that Mr. and Mrs. Candle, with their extravagant farm here and, you know, the wealth that they're bringing in from candles and honey and honeycomb, um, that they don't have, looks like the city's on fire up there, that chimney's really going, um, that they don't have a stable with a horse. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come back over here and, you know, at some point, we'll cover this pond and we'll put a little stable just right here. I think that'll fit. It won't be a big one. It'll be really simple. We'll put a stable. We'll put a milk cow. Um, you know, that would make sense. A couple chickens, a little chicken coop. That would make sense as well. Um, but ta-da, our first building outside of the city walls. We've got the city up there looking grand, and then we've got this little farm right here, and shop. And so people can come in and, you know, I guess we really didn't make a whole shop area, but you know, there'll be a shop in town, a candle shop in town. Probably rename this the candles, and we'll put the shop as the candle, and it'll be in town, and this is their residence and stuff. So we'll probably put a little cart here that they're filling up with supplies to take up into the city. Anyways, I'm really excited about this build. It took a long time. Um, you know, I've done complex builds before and even decorated inside and everything, but some of the styles and what I'm doing now is a lot different from what I built before. Um, and so I'm experimenting a lot with it, and but it's very enjoyable. I'm really excited about um, having people come visit the city and take a look at stuff. Looks good, looks really good. And then inside our city, we did build this gate here. So we've got two completed gates now. We've got this back wall section built out. We don't have that section built. And we've started the towers over there, and we've got the crenolines along the edge all the way around the city. And we started mapping out our cathedral. So you'll see this in another episode, where we started recording and introducing in the last episode where we're going to build this, but then we got distracted with the candle farm. But thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing, you know, the start of the build and kind of the planning and ideas, and then the end of the build, and what it has come out to be. So we'll add a stable and a couple little items, but other than that, that is finished, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you for joining me today as the sun sets, and we shall see you in the next episode.